Awesome. Hi everybody, and welcome. I hope you've been enjoying talking to each other and having some cool conversation going. Welcome to the TechUnderThirty Meetup. We're a meetup group that's mainly focused on sort of connecting young people who are interested in technology, though we obviously don't really care about age overall. We just sort of have that focus of wanting to sort of help young people specifically. We do lots of events, we do talks, we also have question and answers with people who are in the industry currently. We also have fun and games types of meetups so that people can network without that focus on drinking. So we have lots of kinds of different things, and if you ever have a suggestion or something you would like to do or talk about, just let me know, and that'd be awesome. So today we're actually having Sunnie here. She's right there. She is currently working on a project called Geo for Day, and she started it from scratch, and we're going to hear about her project, what she learned in terms of starting a project and earning money off of it and how that whole thing works. So I'll leave it to her to go into more.
Hi everybody, I'm Sunnie. Thanks for being here. And thanks for TechUnderThirty to make this happen. And thanks my teachers in SBA, Carrie, Christina, and Lynn, who pushed me through this project and they did a great job. And it's been 8 months since I've been in New York, and this is the first speech I gave in New York. And actually, honestly, preparing a speech is really panic. Because, well, there's two things in people most afraid about. One is death, and another thing is giving a public speech. So here's a tip that I found maybe helpful for you to prepare a future. So let's talk a little bit about myself. I was born in Guangzhou, a city in South China. It's quite near Hong Kong. And this is me in very young time, and you can see she obviously painted herself like a fashion icon. And she almost takes pictures in the same angle, and yeah, so I like art and design, and I draw a lot, and I like fun things to make every day happen. So, when I'm graduating, I don't know why I'm just mysteriously falling for classes. So, this is actually my first business that I'm doing in graduate school. So, when I'm graduating, I'm thinking people might be happy to have something that memorable when having their graduate party or even celebrating. So I went to the wholesale market and looked around and found a bunch of very funny party glasses. And then I said, hey, I'll just take pictures and post on social media and sell them to my classmates. So I found these two guys, who is a designer and who is not a photographer right now, to help me take pictures and Photoshop them, spread the words, and people really like it, and they just wear it for their graduation party. And also, I'm very happy with the result, and I also get cash. So, after I worked in China as an interaction designer for 2 years, and I decided to go to the US for grad school because I feel like I want to learn something more. I want to see bigger world. So now I'm studying interaction design in SBA. So most of the time that I spend is in designing websites and visualizing data. And sometimes I'll do very cyborgy musical club for my projects. So very interestingly, in this program, actually we learn different things. This kind of makes me feel like I am learning everything. And one of the things is we learn doing business as designers. exactly what made my project happen. So we are having a class that's called Entrepreneurial Design, which the teacher said the goal for us is to earn $1,000 within 4 months. And I was like this. Like, what? $1,000 within 4 months? How is that gonna happen for me? So it's been very struggling to think about an idea and to run as a business for 4 months. So again, I was panicked. So I'm thinking of, what about doing 3D printing glasses? I'm like, no more glasses. Please do something else. And then I went across this quote from a blog called Swissness. It's run by Tina Rothenberg. And then it really inspired me to look for what I want to do for the project. So don't ask what the world needs, ask what made you come alive. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. So it's really good quote and keep me thinking of what's actually make me feel alive every day, what I'm most passionate about. And then one day I think about this book. I bought this book in Hong Kong airport on my way to US. So at that time I wandered around the bookstore for 40 minutes and I finally make my decision to buy this book. It's because it's very great and it's just very inspiring to have a lot of geometry, art, and design. And every time I feel sad or maybe upset when I go over the book, I just feel happy because it's very eye candy and just have a very happy feeling. So I said, why not I just do something about geometry? And then I found out more of the clue that how my life is around by different kind of geometry things that I never noticed before. So yeah, I know the process of running a business would be hard, so I think this is the really good thing that I can start doing my business. So I started my project, which is called Geo Per Day, which I do it individually and from starting building it from scratch, designing the visual identity, and also later on design the poster for it. The first question that I came across for my project is where to find my customers. So I have an idea, but there's a piece of white paper in my hand. I start from zero. I have nowhere to find my customers. And who will potentially buy my products? So, therefore I think, what about, let's find some followers first, and then maybe I can turn them into customers. So, therefore I think, if I want to gather a lot of followers, maybe I should work on a platform and community first. If I build a community on a social media platform, and then it might be a very good way to support, I can have the products later on. So, and then I choose Tumblr and Instagram as the starting point of building my business. It actually runs very well because they have already a very mature community of people, so it's easy to start from zero. And also think about products. I actually don't have a clear idea, but what I want to do is probably fabric printing and about 3D printing, home decors, and even posters, this kind of thing that might be related to what I'm interested in. So all in all, I just want to do something special. So on February 10, 2014, Geo Per Day Tumblr blogazine was launched. What's about this blogazine? So this is the Tumblr blog that I have. So basically I collect and curate all the inspiration that I like from different fields, this is creative coding, and this is architecture, and also product design. I'm thinking that maybe I gather this inspiration and add hashtag on the Tumblr, and people would reblog and blog about it, and then I can probably find some followers around that. And after setting up my Tumblr blog on February 12th, I launched my Geo per Day Instagram. So this is how it looks like when it's first day launch. There's only one picture of my favorite book and one followers, which I don't know who it is, and also I start following people. So it's very interesting that my Instagram it actually runs better than Tumblr. It's because it's kind of very lightweight because everyone's using their mobile phone to check Instagram every day, and you don't have the burden to update like your Tumblr every day. And also you can reach the people, the real people behind the Instagram. And you can curate the content to send it every day through tagging and also finding people to follow and also like the content that the people that you're interested in, because everyone like people like their photos. So gradually I post more content and I'm getting more followers. And also I use this platform to put my own work into it to mix with my inspirations, which works really well. And this is what it looks like today. So within probably 1 month, 2 months now, I have about 150 followers. And then after building the social media, I try to think what product should I start from. I try a bunch of things. This is the first thing that I tried. I ordered some samples, like cloth samples from Spoonflower, which is a website that prints fabrics. And then I sketched some ideas of what I should print. And then I make this. This is actually the patterns generated from processing code. Processing is a software that you can visualize the data and you can make cool things from coding. So I used a piece of code and then I print it on the fabric. But it turned out that it is very time consuming from print to actually I get a fabric. So I made the second iteration, which is I use another code and then I hand draw the pattern on it and I sew it. I want to turn it into a curtain which have very cool pattern on it. But actually, this is also very time consuming because time is so limited. I have to earn less than $1 with performance. So probably this not that practical. And after I start thinking of the products, actually a lot of things that happen to me, like things start to pile up because I'm just doing solo. I'm not partnering with everyone. So actually, I have to manage my platform and also I have to design my products. And later on, I even have to manage my own store. So it's very stressful to manage all this stuff and also when you're doing a grad school. So that's why I wish I have 36 hours a day to work on it. This is a quote that I have received from Tim Roberts, and I found it exactly described what I come across. I was quickly faced with the reality that without a boss to report to, peers to collaborate with, or a team to manage, I was left in a quiet, lonely vacuum where my productivity mattered only to me. So it's not a good thing that I get stuck of everything. So I try to think about a way that I can manage my time and also my emotion to go over this time. remind myself what I should accomplish every day. And also, I set small goals to continually to make progress. Because sometimes when you set goals higher than what you are right now, it's kind of hard to reach, and sometimes will defeat your confidence about that. So I just set very small goals. And every time I make small progress, I will frequently check my emotional status. I will ask myself, am I feeling good? And why I'm so stressful? What's the reason? And I will reward myself with very little stuff that make my days feel better and I can keep going on. And also, I see the limitation of myself because I can't do everything and I can't decide on my own. So I start to reach out to people for feedback. So, finally I fall into something more tangible, that is posters. So this is 2 posters that I start with. I try to play around with the elements in the Geo per Day logos, and then I lay them on a paper and I see what happens. And gradually, I have more series of that. So this is another series called Gray Cap Hexagon, which is a shape that I really like. So I play with the colors and also the shapes. And then my teacher told me, you should get this design just out in the world and test if people will like it. So it's very encouraging that people actually like it. And there's a lot of followers in Instagram said, hey, how can I get this on my wall? And my classmates just say, hey, this is really cool, I'll get one. So it's very encouraging that I know that people kind of like my stuff. So, on March the 6th, I launched my Geo design store on Etsy, which looks like this right now. So it's kind of like a big leap that I can keep doing my own design, but now I can publish them to let people to purchase it. And this is the first poster that can actually get an order, because it's blogged on a Tumblr by a blog called 2 Dots, and it's just like a boom that when he retweeted, reblog it on Tumblr, and lots of people reblog it. So that's how I can get my first order from Sweden. So March 23rd, 2014, I get my first international order from Sweden, and it's really happy, and actually it takes faster than we both imagined to do the international shipping. So it's kind of like a very panic process to ship the first international order as well, because only one poster is kind of take a lot of cost to ship it, but somehow I treat it as like a lesson that I can learn, because you will never learn something unless you pay the cost. So go through the whole 1 month process. There's something I truly learned from the process, and I want to share with you guys. The first one is to trust your intuition and passion. This is how I find which push me to achieve what I have in the past 1 month. Because when you don't know what to do, the right thing is to trust your intuition and passion. Actually, a lot of my classmates are doing their own project in a class, but sometimes they just feel like they don't trust their intuition. They will doubt themselves, like, am I doing the right things? Are people gonna like my things? But actually, I think that trust your intuition and passion actually give you the most motivation to keep doing what you're doing. The second thing is get out of the head, start, and act. I think this is almost one of the biggest success that I feel like I have in this process, because I used to be a person who liked to overthinking a lot of things, and then I think a lot, but I'm just afraid of acting. So this project really pushed me to get out in the world and start doing things. Because sometimes the hardest thing is actually to start. And when you start doing what you like, and actually you can see your passion and also limitation. So this is a quote really hit me. It's from Herminia Amara. We learn who we are in practice, not in theory, but by testing reality. The third thing I learned in this process is embrace uncertainty and imperfection, learn from trial and error. Actually, in the definition of entrepreneurship, it's not about success. You can go through lots of definitions of entrepreneurship. It's actually about taking risks and going through all the uncertainty and to use all your resources to find your own path. So in the process, no one's telling you what to do, and there's no right and wrong answers. The only thing you can do is to make plans, move on, and see how it goes and feels, and then you make another plan. And so sometimes, if you want to do your own projects, you kind of have to be prepared of you are going through all the uncertainty, every up and downs, and go through all the errors, and then you can improve your project. Another thing I found very touching is the connection between people are awesome. So, in this project, I came across a lot of people that really encouraged me. So, my first blog feature come from a blog called 2 Dots, and the editor is called Aaron. So actually, Aaron reached out to me because he saw my works on Tumblr, and this is what he told me. I understand it is tempting, but do not fall for followers. And then you will be like anyone else. Just follow your heart, and though you get inspiration from various work, create your own path and be creative and have fun. Actually, he encouraged me a lot and just say exactly what I'm thinking and pushed me a lot. And through his followers, I get to know the artist Helena Song, and this also become my first artist interview in the Fountain Art Fair. And so sometimes when you start doing what you like, people will actually come to you, gather around you, they will value the thing that you value. I think this is really awesome in the whole process, so that's, I think, very thankful. So the last thing is start the project as your serious side projects right now. So start doing what you care about as a side project. This is actually an inspiration I learned from Swiss Miss. She started Tatley and Creative Morning as her side project, and actually she did a very good job. I totally agree what she said about take your personal projects seriously, because you can experiment with it, you can take risks, but you don't have really deadline, and you can still eat. It's not just the thing you do on the side, but it's something that makes you happy and excites you, makes your day, and become a part of yourself. So in the end, I'll share a quote that I really like, and I keep reading it through the whole process. In life, you will become known for doing what you do. That sounds obvious, but it's profound. If you want to be known as someone who does a particular thing, then you must start doing that thing immediately. Don't wait. There's no other way. It probably won't make you money at first, but do it anyway. Work nights, work weekends, sleep less, whatever you have to do, If you're lucky enough to know what brings you bliss, then do that thing at once. If you do it well and for long enough, the world will find ways to repay you. And this is the whole story of my project. Thank you. Questions?
I was wondering, the actual making of the poster, is that something you outsource?
Yeah, I design my poster and I just go to the print store downstairs to print it. Because, well, the orders, just like, you know, when you start doing it, it's only one or two. It's hard to like scale it, so I just, hey, quickly print it. And it's
So that's something you do at SVA? Or is that like a commercial printing?
just commercial printing, just outside. Just,
Can we still buy your prints?
yeah. Please mark down my assistant. Yeah. Yes.
Where are you studying?
I'm studying in School of Visual Arts in 21st, West 21st Street. Yeah. And my program is called Interaction Design. Yes.
So through all of this, did you become incorporated, or is that something you're still working on now?
I'm still working on it.
Oh,
And then I'll keep working on it as like my long-term side project.
But no.
oh, I meant like yeah, like incorporated as a business, like yeah, like a LLC.
Like register a company on your name, go through the legal process and that kind of stuff.
Not sure if I would start a company, but yeah, I would just.
Maybe tax. Pure cash.
Well, Etsy it's already like charge the fees when you sell everything, you know, because my poster didn't sell that expensive, but actually they just keep having money from everything. But that's the price that I paid.
To stay as an artist is easy. More cost effective that way. So.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll keep doing this after the 4 months are up?
Sorry?
Do you think you'll keep doing this after the 4 months are up? Like,
Yeah, I will definitely keep doing it. So my next step is actually, yesterday I met with Mary Wang, who set up Continuum Fashion, who's doing 3D printing shoes and also the 3D printing bikini, which exhibit in magazines. So I met with her today, and she very encouraging me to do 3D printing because it's very relevant to my project, and it's also something that I want to try, like in the beginning of my project, because well, I wanted for something tangible, but more challenging is I want to try something like 3D printing, and also I want to keep working on probably processing, like how I can combine design and technology, but onto something like fabric, which is like soft and analog.
So are you going to get $1,000 or?
Definitely. So yeah, some of my classmates, they did Kickstarter, because Kickstarter is like you get funded before you actually go to manufacturing. But I'm kind of like going to a different path because I post my products and then just get real number of sales. Yeah, so that's kind of a little bit hard, but yeah, I can't make $1,000, but fortunately I have my own community. I have the Instagram, which like,
How did you decide on the pricing?
actually I set up my store on Etsy, and then I first go to like research about what's the average price that they sell poster on Etsy. So what's a little bit encouraging? Like, so the price they set on Etsy is not very high. It's almost like 20, but I actually want to go higher. So that's another limitation of the platform that you decided to launch your store. So whether you do it on an Etsy store or you set up a Shopify store, that's kind of like a little bit, you have to balance that. So I finally choose Etsy because they have like a community, but also the limitation is there's a set, almost the average price of the product that you're selling, and everyone's doing posters, so how you can stand out. So yeah, so I just set my price like $35 and a little bit over average, but I try to keep the set price because I want people who value it to actually purchase it.
Smart. It's a good way to gauge actual interest. If somebody really wants to post it, provide and knows the price.
Yeah, and I also launched my products on Society 6 recently, and hope I can see if I can like not limit myself, and I see I can explore different ways to myself. If people buy it.
Apart from time and effort, did you put any investment into this project, like in terms of money or finance?
Well, actually, I didn't do budgets at all for my project because so the budget has almost come from like, well, at the beginning I wanted to do Shopify, so I purchased like a month plan of Shopify, which I just leave it there so far. And then, yeah, and
What about your website?
sorry,
Did you design your website yourself or did you hire a programmer to do that?
I designed it.
Okay.
I bought like another template and then I design it because it's already set. That's why Tumblr is easy for you to start because if you purchase like a premium template and you do like customized design as a designer, and it will come like just,
What on this etsy.com? Do you have to register or you can open it like free account on ETSY?
oh, Etsy.
Oh, Etsy.
Yeah, you can just set up your own store very easily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even I'm an international student, but I can also use just PayPal account to set up your own store.
Ah.
Wait, so why didn't you stick with Shopify? You didn't like it, or you just like Etsy better? Like, why?
Why I didn't choose Shopify?
Yeah, like why?
Because like for Shopify, it's an independent store. It's very good for your own branding, but also it need like people to you need a community to know your work. But Shopify kind of like also start from zero, so that would put a lot of pressure on like probably my own blog and Instagram to get people to go to my Shopify. So that's why I launched on Etsy to make use their already exist community to help promote my products and spread the words out. And yeah, but I really want an independent store to like help build the brand that I'm doing. Any other questions?
Oh, maybe we do here. No,
Okay.
I mean,